Hi there, welcome. I'm not going to be chatting much probably, but this is going to be a little bit of coloring and crafting. Let's see if I can pull this up a little bit so you can get to see what I'm doing. Hola Anne, hi Anne, nice to see you here early. So why this is called coloring and crafting? Because I'm going to be coloring this piece. It's a C-slug. I don't know if I have here somewhere an image of what I was commissioned. Let me see if I can find my phone. I'm not monitoring this on another screen, but I think that I can show you a download. This is what I'm trying to attempt, more or less. The good thing is this one doesn't have a very specific shape, so I don't think I'll have to suffer so much if it's a little bit deformed or something like that. It's not like creating a dog or a cat or something else. So this has been very challenging. It's been like 2 years since I started making this, and um, I normally start with these. That is what we use for um, bedding or pillows, because it gives, first of all, it's shape. It's a very sturdy shape. It's faster to sculpt, so it's hard but soft at the same time, and you can produce some shapes like the little bit of horns that this little thing is going to have. So here you can see that I was able to produce kind of a flat cylinder, and now I'm just adding a little bit of this gray base color. From there, I'm going to go into the intense black. I don't have neon or orange, but I do have in my stack some colors that could mimic a little bit. So this is one commission. And the other one is an experiment. I have seen people making butterflies with flat material. They flatten this and then they just cut it around. And I just didn't like that so much because I don't have this multi needle tool. So I'm experimenting with wire. I'm going to put it with this dark background. A little bit of wire so I can finish with something like this. And here, as soon as I flatten this enough, I'll be able to add the colors on top of the wing on both sides. But this is something that takes a lot of time. Of course, it's not going to be as thin as the wire, but thin enough to hold on to the colors. So how do you do that? Well, really simple. You take a little bit of your wool, just prepare it a little bit. And this is why uh, when people don't see the process, they think that making these figures is just very cheap and doesn't require a lot of uh, time. They think things like these are automatic and easy to do, but it's going from this to tie it around and then just go and poke for hours, literally, until you achieve this tangled wool. Sometimes I use the single needle, and some other times I just use this one that has got three. You have to be very careful. You don't want to break the needle, especially working with wire. So this is what we do with these little things. So this is kind of the initial process. I was thinking about opening SoundCloud and use some of my music, but I prefer to monitor the dawn here. The sun is coming out. It's 6 a.m. here in Mexico, so welcome everyone who is watching this on replay early in the morning. I'll try to be a little bit more constant with streaming, but I cannot promise that because the term starts tomorrow. We have more than 1,800 newcomers, new students, starting their university studies for the first time. One of the, how can I put it, so far in almost 20 years of this university at this location, it's the biggest generation ever. So it's scary and challenging at the same time. The majority of the students are not going to go through the English department. They already have good certifications, but we are going to get some interesting groups. I have got so far 3 groups, and in all these 3 groups, there are going to be like 75 students, high intermediate. This is English as foreign language, so they are not experts, but they are able to communicate, talking about oral skills or speaking skills, but they do need a lot of help in the writing area. They're just coming very, very underprepared with writing. You know, artificial intelligence and chat GPT and things like that. So that's all the news. So let's get going and work with these. And I hope you enjoy the external sounds. We're going to have a lot of birdies outside my window singing a little bit for you. There you go. Maybe in the distance you'll be able to hear the trucks and buses from the highway. And if your ears are sharp enough, you'll probably hear the planes coming to the airport, either landing or taking off. If you want to see a little bit more on batik coloring or how to use Inkpen's pencils, you can watch yesterday's impromptu. Lots of tips, what to do, what not to do with your pencils, watercolor pencils or Inktense pencils in general. Let me do this. I have an announcement here and I don't want to see that. using this third, because I tend to put my finger here and goes straight to that finger. And I hope I don't forget to stay on camera so you can see this. All right. If you have questions, you can write them in the box. The settings so far are for subscribers only. Recently, there has been an uptick in trolling. Not for me, but I have seen creators dealing with trolls in the chat. So it's a little bit discouraging when that happens. And if you want to see all the messages, make sure you are in a live chat and not top chat. This recording will also provide the chat after some hours of processing, I think. So you will be able to read the comments that were produced live during the stream. And one of my cats is running like crazy, so I hope I don't have to stand up and see what he's doing. He got hyped because I got up very early today to set this up. So he thinks I'm playing. I normally have two needle felting projects going at the same time. So if I get tired of this tiny thing, I can go and add the colors. I'll show you also how to add external pieces and where's my other phone here, and how to add a little bit of sculpting here. I'm not going to be live for long because Miriam will stream in more or less 50 minutes. So I'm not going to invade her time slot, and she's going to be stitching live. So if you want to follow her, you can also learn to stitch. Okay. And before I close the stream, I'm going to show you the body coloring that I finished yesterday. The description has got, or will have later on when I can do the edition, will have the name of the author of the image, the book, suggestion to watch her channel. She creates images with artificial intelligence, but she is careful enough to have quality images that you can print, and you can follow her body coloring. Unfortunately for the streamers who go live in the afternoon, Monday to Friday, I won't be able to follow you guys, not anymore. My classes are going to be all in the afternoon, and I'm going to be here back home at around 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time. During the summer, I follow mountain time, and in winter, in central time. So if you are streaming in the afternoon, if I have enough time and I don't have a lot of things to read or evaluate, I might go and follow you in the replays. But in general, I don't have time for replays, to be honest. Okay. Some of you might ask, why in the mornings can you watch the replays? Well, mornings are for house chores, for evaluating, so I don't have to take a lot of work for Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So I normally press a little bit to see how hard this is, and then I decide if I poke this a little bit more. I'm using the word poke because I don't know if the algorithm will pick something nasty if I use another word. Okay, on this side. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment after the stream so the algorithm can start the recommendations of my channel. I'm in around 600 subscribers. Normally when I go live, I lose subscribers, so it's kind of a interesting game. Should I push more content out to get more subscribers, or will I lose subscribers if I continue adding videos? So far, I'm just going for the shorts strategy. Not all day, but maybe 2 shorts a day. Mostly coloring, mostly the body coloring. Okay. So this one's almost ready. Yesterday night, I just added a little bit of color here. Yes, and that's one of my biggest fears. That's why I use 3 fingers. This is like working with boxing gloves. And just in very few occasions I remove them. But I have to be very careful with the needle. Because yes, I have hurt myself several times, especially this finger. That's why this one has got the thickest protection. This one, because of the use, it's a little bit worn out. I got a substitution, but they are very thin. So in a certain way flexible. And I really don't work without these 3 things because I really don't want to have pain all day because I just poked myself. Okay, where are my scissors? Just going to eliminate a little bit. Add this here. And then I'm going to use a pin. Here, yeah, I have to do this without protection, so I have to be extremely careful. Okay. So it's here, it's out. And this little bit needs probably a little bit more color. It's another thing that you can do. You can cross the fibers. And anyway, all this is going to be gray first to cover this filling. Okay. I start tomorrow and I go back to the school tomorrow. Not necessarily that I was on vacation, I was covering office time. My vacation was just from July 11 to 18 last month. And now I'm doing office time, kind of permanent stuff. So we were just improving courses, designing material, 6 hours from Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And officially, my groups have classes 4 times a week. So that's Tuesday to Friday. And tomorrow, all the students have the first day of class, not necessarily English class. So I'm going to be at the office from 1 to 7 and officially see my students until Tuesday. So it's a new dynamic. So let's see how it goes. But I'm planning to use the mornings for all the schoolwork, housework. I'm going to have 1 hour and a half in between groups. So I have the first 2 classes and then I have one period that is free. And in that period, I'm going to prepare lessons, evaluate, go into my last period from 5:30 to 7. And when I finish at 7 p.m., I'll come home. Like 10-minute drive from the school. So it's not far away. So commuting is not really a problem. And then when I get home, just check on my dad, have dinner, and finish some chores. I don't want to see messages here. So I'm planning to use Saturday and Sundays to advance projects like this, do some coloring, of course, grocery shopping and errands that I don't have time to do during the week because we are literally still far away from shopping malls and shopping centers. The closest, I'm going to say Walmart, is like 6 miles. We are going to have one in December that is going to be closer. It's going to be a small one. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to convert kilometers. So if you're in the USA, you can understand. It's probably going to be close to 2 miles, maybe. So that's going to be an advantage. because it's not the same driving 6 or 7 miles and then the same back to driving less than 2 miles and then back. I prefer the latter, of course. All right, so I will finish this later on, but I'm going to show you how to add extra things. These are kind of the horns of the animal. So I've got a pin. For these, I have to remove the boxing gloves and just pin these. I don't start, or I won't start poking them in until I find it's looking like a snail. Ooh. But this is for a co-worker who likes this type of creatures. Adjusting this one a little bit. Right now, because of the wool here, more than a sea slug, it kind of looks like strange horned cow. But anyway, I think I like this position. Okay. Here you have to be very careful when you poke these in, because don't forget you have another metal pin here in the middle. So these ones are ready to go. Okay. Yeah, we will call them ears. I'm not sure if it's the antenna or something like this. But whatever, this is going to go into darker black. On the screen, you can see it's black, but it's kind of a Payne's gray, more or less. So what I want to do is just add the black areas, not everything, because I don't have a lot of black. I have to see how much I have in my stash of black. It's a color that a lot of people prefer. And it's very, very difficult to get a very dark, intense black. And I have here another kind of black. Okay, this is fabric, but I don't know if you can see with the comparison that this is really black and this is still gray. So I have black like this, but I don't have a lot. So I do need to go and see all my stash. Okay. And this same process is for legs, for arms, for any extra little bits that your sculpture needs. Okay. I need to untangle. Yeah, I know, on camera it's very subtle, but here in front of me, literally, this cute little thing is Payne's gray and not black as in the photo that I have got as reference. So I certainly need to have this black color. And here it has got some areas that still look a little bit white. So what I'm going to be doing is continue adding a little bit here so this can become sturdier and it won't fall off. But as I do that, I have to be careful. I remember that this pin is probably up to here, maybe up to here. So I have to be very careful if I'm poking like this, because I could hit the pin and I could break the needle, and these needles are really good. They came, I got like 3, I think, and they came in this set. They came here. You can get this on Amazon. And this kit has got recommendations. And I'm going to open this. Beautiful colors. Here I have black, you see. But this is the only black that I have got. So I have to be careful. These are not sold individually. I'm talking about the colors. So I'll have to buy another kit. Not that I feel sad about it. I mean, buying supplies is something good. But if you're just going to buy one for one black color and not using the others, well, it's probably not such a good idea. But if you're looking for an affordable kit, it doesn't have the protectors, but you have got like 2 or 3 of these needles that are really, really good. I don't recommend the Chinese kits because they look beautiful in Amazon. But let me see if I can find that kit here. But the reality is that is something like this. The needles are not necessarily great and they break easily, but this is all the amount of wool that you get. If you're doing small projects like for keychains or something like that, this is good. So I'm going to be using some of these colors. I don't have a lot. These are like 2 grams. I'm not sure about ounces, but it's not that much. But it's a good start if you want to see if you like this. And well, cute colors for something really, really small. But I'll go more for the wool booty. Ah, this is nice. This looks like movement. You see, he's not having them. The ears or the horns, whatever they are, they shouldn't be positioned symmetrically, but as this thing moves these things independently, then there you go. Okay, the sun is coming out, so I'm going to open my window for more direct sunlight. And I'm going to 6:30, so Miriam is going live in 30 minutes. I need to go and do some errands. So I will have, or I will be watching in the background while Miriam is explaining how to slow stitch. This is small enough for me, so that's why I'm not stitching. And I'm also checking. Ooh, there's no fog today. So I'm going to go ahead and do my laundry early in the morning. I don't have a dryer. I hate dryers. So when it rains or it's foggy, it's a little bit of a problem over the weekend because I cannot do laundry. I'm going to update these projects on Instagram. So in the description, you have my Instagram handle, so you can follow me there. I totally forget about posting these in groups. Sorry about that. But this is going to stay here until this has been fastened well enough. So I'll probably need another layer of wool to fasten this. And that's the idea, to be very patient until this looks nice. I don't have here my previous figures, but I have them on Instagram. Here I have a white space and also here, so that means layering. And this is going to be a different layer. I'm not going to wrap it around. I'm going to try and do this. I'm not going to wrap it around. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to cross so I can fasten this one on top of the head. So that's how you can cover the small little bits. Okay, probably going to be on for maybe 10, 12 minutes more. Oh, I just felt the pin with the needle, so I have to be careful. Because this one is going to go around, so the pin is here in the middle. It's here, right there. The pin is there. So I have to be extra careful attaching this piece. So what I'm going to do is probably start with the base. There. Very delicate balance. Give it a soft hand because certainly you're going to be feeling pain as you poke. So don't be so harsh. This will eventually join all the tangled mess that you have, but it won't happen in 5 seconds. Not even 5 minutes, it will take time. Keep these away from cats and dogs because they love the smell of wool. My cat has stolen pieces, so I have to put them in plastic bags as they are in the work in progress stage. And then they have to go into acrylic boxes, or really high enough, which is not really an obstacle for a cat. But anyway. All right. So I'm going to carry on with these. I don't know what I did to my other protection. And normally, oh, it's here. I normally, as I'm going to continue working with these, I'll put this here. And I'm going to show you very quickly what I finished yesterday, the coloring that I finished yesterday. I won't be coloring this week. I'm going to work in the evaluation, the classes, and probably the butterfly. Yeah, probably I'm going to be doing that. Okay, so let me just move this aside. Oops, I hit the camera. And this is the one that I finished yesterday off camera. I just worked a little bit with this section while doing the stream, and I gave you tips for Inktense and told you what to do, what not to do, how to mix colors on top of a masking tape, how different it is to move colors around. People, I'm probably going to be a little bit repetitive of what I said yesterday, but people don't like Inktense because they don't know how to use them on the correct paper. If you use cardstock, if you use watercolor paper, the color is not going to move around freely. So there's going to be a problem there. But if you're using smoother paper, marker paper, probably, I don't have marker paper, but if you do, you can test this. You're going to see that the colors move in a different way. What I'm going to do here, let me get a purple, is just do small little mixture of colors. And let's recap. Cardstock, watercolor paper, whatever you do, the color is going to stay there. It's not going to be moved around, and you're going to have the original mark there. But if you are using smoother paper, and this one is, no, I don't have one here, but I'm going to write it down so you can find this paper. If you're using this paper, this one is much better. It's smooth. The Inktense colors can be just workable. I'm going to go for this small little section with this purple. So I'm going to add a little bit here and a little bit here. And you just saw what happened here. Test humidity with your hand. This is grayscale, so the original stain will not work. or leave a mark, but you can see how much I'm moving the color around. Let's try this one that is also dark enough. And there you go. Hi Beth, nice to see you. The background is water, no, it's alcohol marker actually. Everything is alcohol marker and all the shadows are with Inktense pencils, but you have to use this paper. It's not the same working on cardstock or watercolor paper, so anything. Thank you for the learning comment. I'm also learning a lot from your stream, girls. So I don't do a lot of collage or stitching or journaling, but for me it is fascinating when you go and glue things and then they look amazing. Okay, there you go. So this is something that I finished. And I won't have a lot of time to color, but I have a big stash of printed images already. Let's see if I have my folder here. So I get all these freebies. I go to the local stationery and kind of work and print them. So if I have enough time, I'll color all these later on. So these are the ones that I printed yesterday. This is what Eileen and her body coloring, they are working on this. What I don't like is that the printer at the Office Depots, they have these lines, but anyway, they can be corrected if you know the techniques. So they are working on this one. She created this quilted horse. What I like is that this is really gray. I also like this spaniel. It's a cocker spaniel, I think, or Spanish cocker spaniel. So this is watercolor effect. I also like this one for Halloween. It's not that far away, but again, the lines from the printer, this is really obvious here. So I'll have to decide, and this is printer paper, so I won't be working with that one. This is alcohol marker on printer paper. You can use it, but I'm not so sure Inktense will work here very well. I'll have to test this one. This is by Lisa Mitrokin. Still in progress to finish this one. Another one from Jade Summer. Still in progress. This is something that I created on Copilot or Gemini. You cannot see the pixels here on camera. Actually, the camera is working a lot with the resolution, but I'm coloring this one on Procreate. Show this one. This is another one from Eileen's. It's called Critters in Tutus. So I love the lion. Printer paper as well. And this one is also printer paper. Much better. But I'll try to see if I can print this one using opaline paper. Yeah, when I print at home, Beth, I feed my printer with opaline. There are two variations. There's cardstock, a little bit thicker, and paper. So if your printer accepts the thicker one, much better. But I have paper right now. I don't have cardstock. I have to go to Office Depot and buy the opaline cardstock. I love the cats. This is also from Eileen. And this one, she generated this one, but this one has got a mistake. But this one is also printer paper. This girl has got 6 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the index. And where's the thumb? Somewhere here. So this one has got a mistake, but I like the eyes. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Probably correct a little bit of the line. So what I'm planning to do is take this one to Procreate and correct this. It's not really common, and normally it was used for cards. When you were using your business cards, people used to have the paper, opaline paper for business cards. It was not until recently discovered that you can use markers and ink pens. Another one from Eileen, artificially generated, and on Instagram you saw that I colored this one. Okay, and the doggy. Again, this one is repeated. This one is also printer paper. And this one is recycled paper. It's textured a little bit. So these 2 images that I have here are recycled paper that I have here at home. It's a little bit more texture. It's not necessarily cold pressed, it's hot pressed. But this one is really good for color pencils. But let me see if I can pull out from here the opaline paper. Okay. I know that you can get them at the Office Depot. Okay. And it's going to be in Spanish, girls, but this one, okay, it's if your printer can go for this, then this will be fantastic. Okay. Look at the gram. It's very close to watercolor paper. It's very thick and it's very white. Okay, so this is the cardstock. I don't have a lot. I have just a few. So I need to make sure that I can find them at Office Depot so I can get another one. And the Inktense are the regular Inktense, Beth. Okay, the Derwent. There you go. But if you have got any other brand of watercolor pencils, I have the watercolor Derwent pencils. And this one is, oops, it's the paper. The difference is the grams. They have a 97% whiteness. And this is the one that I use for this one. Yeah, the alcohol markers produce this effect, you know. So I will put this on a surface, a flat surface with a lot of weight. So there you go. So my recommendation is, if you want to experiment with alcohol markers and Inktense to produce this, go for any of these. The cardboard or the cardstock that is heavier, or the paper. And if your printer it's much better if you print at home with laser. If you use ink with inkjet, I think that's the other variation. This is not going to work. You need the grayscale totally fixed on the paper. Okay, so you can go directly and just move the Inktense around. I do have open stock Derwent watercolors, but I have not tried them. Oh, here's my Sharpie. I didn't know where I had this. These are the, they are so old that they are even called Rexel Derwent watercolor. So I don't know if you can see that. It's very subtle. And later I got the newest, and when they changed to Derwent. But I got all these in small set and then open stock. But now all of them have the new look, right? But they are the same brand. They're the same brand. But anyway, so that would be a good experiment, not necessarily working on camera. And I won't be able to watch your stream, Beth, Tuesday or Thursday, but I'll try to be there on Saturdays, because as you're streaming, I'm teaching, so that's going to be a little bit of a problematic situation. But I'll try to watch your stream on Saturday, right? And if you want to experiment with this, let me know, and I'll be more active in the chat. Okay. And the last thing I want to show you before we go is how Inktense can be very flexible. These were the samples that I had yesterday during the stream to show you. And Inktense is supposed to be permanent. Let me just activate my water brush here. A little bit of water. Okay. Supposedly they're permanent, but if you have a masking tape, you can reactivate it. So you can create a custom palette. And these samples have 24 hours. And you could see that I was able to reactivate all of them if they stay on the masking tape. Okay, so enjoy your Inktense, because with these tips, with using masking tape, with using opaline paper, alcohol markers, you're going to be really having a lot of fun. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go because Miriam is about to go live, and I don't want to kind of invade her streaming. Okay, so yes, there you go. Yeah, on paper, once they are on paper, they are permanent. But on the masking tape, you can reactivate them and you can transfer to paper. Okay, so thank you very much, girls. If you're watching this on a replay, please like, share, subscribe, have fun with my very occasional content. Okay, thank you very much, and see you at Miriam's in around 6 minutes. Bye.